Hi everyone, it's Sherry Rosenthal, and you're in the perfect place if you're looking for nourishing wisdom in your life, career, and spiritual journey. So much out there is vying to hook our attention, and if we're going to have the kind of lives we've been dreaming of, we're going to have to be more attentive to what we allow or refuse into our lives. Now, normally the mind automatically narrows down the amount of input we receive based on past experience. In other words, we've trained our mind, mostly without awareness, to decide what we should and shouldn't focus on. However, that's not necessarily a healthy situation. Based on your fears and obsessions, your mind will allow you to see what it wants you to see and hear what it wants you to hear. From this perspective, the most amazing opportunity could be right before your eyes, and you might not see it. That's why some folks seem to have tons of great opportunities and luck, and others seem to have nothing. Of course, that's an extreme example, but you get the idea. The universe reflects back to us exactly what we choose to perceive, regardless of whether we're coming from lack or abundance. It's a process of opening up and purposely not prejudging anything, letting life move through you with ease, and then making a conscious choice based on discernment, not prejudging as to what your mind wants to see, hear, smell, touch, and taste based on prejudice. There is a huge difference between discernment based on personal preference and prejudice based on fear-based beliefs. For example, let's say you don't want to be privy to all the negative news on the TV and in the newspaper, so you shut it out. However, you might also be shutting out a piece of information that would make a difference in your life. So rather than judging all news to be bad, instead, consider that the news is simply the news. And what you'd really like to do is transform the energy and focus of it. That means you can choose to do a quick scan of the paper or listen to just one news program so that you're aware of what's happening in the world, and you can choose to watch or read without judgment and move on. Let the information flow through you without chewing on it. Don't judge it and rail on about it. Instead, breathe it in and breathe it out with love. That's it, and that's all. And this technique can be used in any situation. It's a way of allowing the world to pass through you without suffering it, or being in resistance, cultivating anger and frustrating yourself about things that are going to steal your energy and could be better directed in a more productive way. So, here are 3 tips for putting this into practice. 1, if something hooks your attention and you find yourself getting upset, stop, take a deep breath, and tell yourself that you are not interested in going down this road. On your next breath, take in the situation and breathe it back out with love and move on. Number 2, if something hooks your attention and you find yourself in resistance and refusing it, Stop, take a breath, and ask yourself why. Is it because you already think you know? It's not productive to pre-filter life. The mind does this because it thinks it knows, and it's comparing today with something it thinks it understands about yesterday. And that's not the truth. Number 3, if something keeps showing up in your life that you've deemed unimportant or not interesting, stop, take a breath, and ask yourself why you are not paying attention. Perhaps the universe is trying to tell you something. Do you really need the cosmic 2x4 to hit you upside the head before you take notice? I hope not, because in my experience, that is never pleasant. So I'm curious as to what your experience is with how you filter life. Do you react, resist, or ignore life? And don't forget to post below and let me know what you've learned. And if you haven't already, don't forget to sign up for my weekly video. You've got to stay in the loop. There are certain events and goodies that I only share with folks on my list, so please don't miss out. And here's to peace, power, and personal alchemy. Need a splash of clarity in your life or business? Lacking fire in your passion and purpose? Relationships got you stuck in the muck? Come to a full stop on the transformation train? Good grief! You need a personal intensive right now. Join me in Florida or at your favorite spa for 3 days of practical and meaningful steps you can take to transform your ordinary life into something exquisite and rare. Email me immediately and let's get started.